Okay, so we talked about this kind of this angle of being introduced to someone else on the team that your cold email might be applicable to. And here are some examples. We're just going to kind of show these on the screen, but the whole point here, you shouldn't do this, right? Like you need more homework. I know this is talked about in Predictable Revenue by Aaron Ross and kind of this, taking this top down approach. And the theory behind this is that when you get, an email forwarded to you from your superior, you're going to be more likely to look into it. Right. And so the theory here is that if your boss is telling you, hey, what do you think about this? That, that increases the likelihood of an appointment being set. And I think that worked out really well when Salesforce was building out their sales team and growing sales. And, this is 5+ years ago now when this book came out too, right? So now that everyone's doing this, it just loses the effectiveness. You've got to do your homework first, and you should be reaching out to the person you need to talk to specifically right from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. So this is based on a book that was written 6, 7 years ago about stuff they were doing 10 years ago. I mean, a decade ago, right? A decade ago in technology. That's a long time. And also, not only was it 10 years ago, when Salesforce was doing this, they didn't have a whole lot of competition 10 years ago, right? So there weren't a whole lot of software as a service as an industry wasn't big, let alone software as a service CRM. Right. So you didn't have to do much to get someone's attention because you are already standing out by just the nature of the product you delivered and the way you were delivering it. And if you're in that category, well, good luck to you. Now you're Uber, you're Salesforce, you're Airbnb, you're doing something so disruptive that really your first impression doesn't matter as much because your value proposition is so unique and so different. 99% of people I talk to don't have a super unique value proposition or are not, cutting edge, bleeding edge, companies. They have a lot of competition to do things pretty similarly to how they do it. And the only way they can stand out is how they initially approach someone. And so taking a very generic approach to someone when you have a market that is not, standalone all by yourself, you're going to have a hard time having success. But the lesson here in this last paragraph, I just read it. It was painful to read, but I just read it, and like they don't understand what a benefit is, right? So like the benefit to users, they can search their area free. Well, I can free search anything anywhere. It's called Google.com. Like I just, I see this all the time. It's like advertising or job sites that say, oh, the benefit to the employers is they can post their profiles for free or or whatever it happens to be. Well, there's no benefit to me posting something for free on the internet. It's the internet. Right. So the value to me is, you've already, found 10 employers and vetted them and done this work. Like, what are you doing differently than other people? Not just, hey, here's the day featured benefits doesn't work like it used to because, what you think is a benefit is table stakes. It's what someone just has to do to be able to compete in those things.